I know you've been, I know you've been, I know you've been.
I've got baggies of 4 to 4.5 ounce. What's up, guys? Welcome to Coach Moak Kitchen. I've told you more than once that you've got to win the battle in the kitchen. And it does require intentionality, and it's challenging at times, and it feels monotonous, but at the end of the day, you will be very appreciative that you put in the extra work. So I'm going to walk you through something that I do, and it takes about 20 minutes, maybe a little longer if you first start doing it, but it really doesn't take that long. What I'm doing is a little more difficult because the protein that I'm going to be using today is a roast of a deer that I harvested a month and a half ago, 2 months ago in Kentucky. Thank you, Jeff Centers. Shout out to Jeff. So this is about 1 pound, 11 ounces, give or take. So almost 1.75 pounds of protein and meat. Some of it I'll clean off. So probably at the end, maybe 1.8 or something like that. So depending on your calorie intake and what you're trying to do, I'm trying to eat, as far as red meat, I'm looking at no more than 8 ounces in a day, probably more like 4. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to prep this, share it with you, show you how to do it. So simple. Anybody can do it. You need an oven, and you need, if you do harvest your own animals and you want to I'm going to turn this into burger today. You're going to want a meat grinder, as you see back here. But you don't have to do that. You can go buy, a couple pounds of regular lean beef at the store. So feel free. So you can either do your regular grocery store, or in my case, the grocery store of the woods, which is amazing. So all that being said, a little tray here that I'm going to share with you. As you can see, I'll explain that in a little bit, but I've got sandwich bags. I've got what I think is just the best for everything, little Kinder salt and pepper, meat thermometer, crucial, pretty inexpensive, just a good sharp knife, an onion, which I won't use the whole onion, probably only use about 1/4 of an onion today, a scale, and again, I'll explain that. These are pretty inexpensive. You get them on Amazon. Again, what you're willing to measure in your life will produce. So I can't tell you enough that, this is going to seem, if you've not taken diet serious and health serious, then this is going to seem like a lot. But once you start doing it, and it becomes a part of the rhythm of your lifestyle, you'll appreciate it. So your health is worth investing in. So I would encourage you to do that. So first thing we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and do this now, is I'm going to cut this meat up into cubes and then grind the meat into burger. And then I personally add the onion afterwards into a bowl and kind of mash it up like a meatloaf. And then I lay it out on a tray about a 1/2 inch thick, and cook it for about 15 minutes at 375 and check it and make sure it's about 145 degrees. And then I've got meat for all week, especially for lunchtime, that I can cut up into 4 to 5 ounce cubes, and I can make a burger out of it. I can just throw it in with my eggs in the morning. I've just got a lot of varieties, or I can just eat it straight up with some cheese on it to get a little bit of fat in there. However you choose to do it. This is what I've done, and it's been good. So here we go. First thing I'm going to do is take this amazing meat and put this into cubes. We'll turn this on, and we'll get to making the burger. So really simple. You want to cut this up, slide this in there. This little job here pushes it out. And we'll get started. I mean, look at that. Unbelievable. Deer, it can be an acquired taste, but I think it's amazing. Okay, this is wrapping up now. I'm gonna push that down and get the rest of it out of there. 5 different pieces that come together that you'll want to clean vigorously. Make sure it's nice and clean, because when you store that and it's not clean, your wife's not going to be happy with you. It's going to smell really bad. So in real time, as you can see, I just diced up some onions. So men, if you want a tip, if you're married and you do this, you better clean up after yourself. I'm gonna tell you that right now. So just gonna take the meat, sit it in here real nice. Just gonna let this onion slide in here, just like so. Okay, got that done. So it's gonna look a little bit like this so far. There you go. And we've got that right there. We've got onions mixed in right there with the meat. Oven going here. So we're gonna bake this at 375. Get that started. So I'm gonna take like just a medium-sized pan, okay, just like this. I don't need to oil the pan or anything. There's natural fats and grease already in the meat that's gonna keep that from sticking, if you will. But it's gonna kind of come out like what I would call like a meatloaf. And again, you don't have to use your bare hands here, but I take it and I just smash it out really good. And then I just kind of move it throughout the pan, keeping it packed in pretty good. And when it's finished, like, you can get as neat as you want. You can make it as thick as you want. Just remember, the thickness is going to require less square inches to meet your 4 or 5. That's what I do. I do 4 or 5 ounce cubes. I mean, you can do it however you want. You can, eat more or less. But I don't take in a ton of red meat, but I definitely look at it as a great, a really, really solid protein option. I eat a lot of chicken, so a lot of chicken. So I like to kind of square it up, as you can see. Maybe it's OCD, but it just makes it easier when I go to cut it. So I'm going to kind of hit the edges here, tighten that up real good, maybe flatten it out a little bit more. But I'm going to get, depending on how much, how thin I make it, I could have thinned this out a little bit more. I think I will, actually. Thin this out just a little bit more. Square it up. Yep. Boom, like that. But when I'm done here, I'm going to have, easily 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9 4-ounce pieces, easy, that I'm going to be able to put in a baggie, and I'll show you that at the end, and then just place it in Tupperware to kinder the crap out of this, because I'm really a fan of this, again, specifically. You can find this anywhere, but it's called the blend salt, pepper, and garlic. It works for everything. So I'm going to put this on very generously. Boom, just like that. Easy enough. Now, when this cooks, it will break apart a little bit. It won't stay one whole piece. As it cooks, it'll kind of break up, but it works out pretty good. So we're ready to pop it in the oven. Let's do it. And we'll give that it's about 15 minutes on the timer, and I'll show you the finished product in a minute. All right, you want to get your thermometer here, and we're going to actually take the temperature of the meat after it gets out of the oven. Thank you, Coach Moak, for that tip, because you can get some false readings sometimes if you take the temperature while in the oven. So we should be pretty close. Right there. We'll grab another mitt here. I know these aren't very manly, but you got to grab what you got to grab. Let me show you a little bit here. As you can see, heck yeah, it looks nice. Now I'm gonna go over here to the sink real quick and pour some of this juice out, and I'll be right back. All right, now it says here, because this is the finishing touch. You want just a standard baggie. Spatula is fine right here, and then your scale. Again, you can get these on Amazon pretty cheap. Go ahead and turn that scale on. Make sure it's set to ounces. And I've done this enough now that I can pretty much guess. I mean, this is a little thicker, so probably not as big a piece, but I'll be in that 4 to 5 ounce range. The purpose for this, again, is so when you use the Life Fitness app, which we talk more about that, cheap, it's actually free. Not just cheap, it's free. And I keep track of everything that I take in. So that way, when you go to eat this, you already know the ounces. You can just plug it in, and it usually has a history of, what you've ate anyway, so it's probably in there. So we're in good shape. That meat's at 140. I think it was like 143. Boom. 143, sweet. So let's go ahead and get going on this. Turn that on. And then you just repeat this process. I personally, you can do whatever you want, but I do 4 ounces. I just think that's a good balance. And I'll put the metrics right here, as you can see. Boom. I'm gonna slide that in the bag. So after I've placed these in a bag, again about 4 ounces piece, I just toss them right here in the Tupperware. I'll have about 8 to 10 of these. Again, you'll want to seal it because just for smelling purposes, but it's there. And then when you go to eat it, just pop the lid, take it out, nuke it, have at it. All right, so here's the finished product. We've got baggies of 4 to 4.5 ounce meat with onion and seasoning. That's amazing, and you have so many options. I'll throw in my eggs sometimes in the morning, again for lunch and even for dinner, different type of options. So let's win the battle in the kitchen.